Here we have another palm that's great in the southwest. It really enjoys the heat. This is a date palm, and there are several forms. There's a Canary Island date palm, which we don't get the fruit from, but this is a true date palm where you get dates from. And one thing about this palm that you got to watch out for is that the leaves at the base here are modified leaves, and they're about 6 inches long, and they're just like a big needle. And when you get impaled by one of those, they hurt. So when you go in to prune these, you got to be really careful. It's easy to forget that these are not leaves and that they're thorns. So you got to watch that and be very careful. But we'll go in. This particular palm has been rated to 5 degrees to be cold hardy. However, the leaves will freeze once you go lower than 20 degrees. So we'll remove some of these leaves here. Again, watching out for these spines. This is a smaller leaf. But look at these spines here. They're hard. They can go right into your skin, and they really hurt. And even after you pull them out, they hurt for a long time afterwards. But we'll prune some of these out. But this palm also, get that one off here, also produces side suckers. And you wonder how we get dates that are all the same, and it comes from these side suckers. So what we had was a date palm that produced really good fruit, and the only way we could propagate it wasn't from seed, was from these side suckers that came off here. They'd cut them off and plant a new one. You'd have a new palm. Freeze didn't kill it, it just set it back a little ways. When we're thinking about the Mexican fan palm, it's the one with the really skinny trunk, and you'll see them around town or in some different communities. They get about, they can get about 30, 40 feet around here. We never seem to keep them much longer than that because every 20 so years or 25 years, we get a really bad freeze that usually kills them out. Mexican fan palm is native to Baja California. So again, it's the real skinny one. And this year after the freeze, you saw a lot of them with the top tipped over, if you remember. They're all brown, the whole top is tipped over kind of like this. Generally, that's a sign that the palm is dead. If those tissues have collapsed and it's fallen over, the palm generally is considered dead. This being an unusual year, some of those palms I've actually seen have started to come back alive. However, some of them I've seen where the whole palm is literally collapsed, the whole trunk has fallen right over. Palms are not made of wood, they're made of fiber. So it's kind of a difficult thing when you got fiber that is rotting. How long is that going to stand? If it's in a hazardous zone, you need to have an arborist come and take a look at the tree, inspect it, make sure it's healthy, or if it's dead and it's in an area where it's going to fall on cars or people, then it needs to be removed. Here we are standing in front of some California fan palms. So how do you tell the difference between a California fan palm and a Mexican fan palm? Well, for one, a California fan palm has this really big base, so it can get up to 2 to 3 feet in diameter across. A Mexican fan palm is going to be much smaller. Also, we can look at the leaves here. Notice the leaf here. If it had a red margin along the edge here, that would be a Mexican fan palm. These are totally green. So this is a California fan palm. I've seen California fan palms come through 11 below zero and do fine. I've heard actually 20 below zero and come back. So this is the California fan palm, the palm of choice for planting in the southwest here where you have cold problems. If you want a truly big, massive, good-looking palm. This palm has been properly pruned. You can see how it's nice and even going all the way up the trunk. These particular leaves were in the center and they're dead. Part of them alive up here, but they don't look very good hanging down like this. So what do we do with them? Well, what we'll do is we'll have to get a ladder at some point, get up here, and just basically cut them off. Makes it look much more attractive up there, get rid of all this dead stuff again. And you'll probably have to do that for a couple times through the summer till you get rid of all the dead tissue that was around there. After that, you just let the palm grow, let the new leaves come out, and they'll be nice and green for the rest of the year. Here we have another great southwestern palm, the Mediterranean fan palm. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the living palm within this tree here. And you see all the dead fronds out here, pretty thick out here. Now, like I said, this palm is rated to 0 degrees. We went below 0, but it survived just fine. Again, when you're going to cut this palm, you're going to want to use gloves. This has really big spines on the leaf bases here. So you want to do that. Wear some gloves. Get in here, You have to make a hole. You have to start cutting. Just start cutting in here. With these big spines on the leaf bases here, it's hard to get your hands in there to get it, but you gotta, first you form a hole where you can actually get in here. Some of them you may not be able to cut right up to the trunk at first, but you come back and follow that, cutting that back. So, see, we start to remove this. It's always good if you have a helper with you, because they can pick up all these leaves and put them in the trash for you. And you can be the boss and do all the pruning parts. There we go. Getting down in here, you see, you start to see the green in here. I actually had a friend in town that dug up all his Mediterranean fan palms and threw them away 2 months ago. I told him he should have waited because they weren't dead. They're alive, and it's really expensive to replace these palms. A small palm like this could cost you well over $100. This one, being about 4 feet tall, probably costs you anywhere from $200 to $300 to replace this palm, plus the cost of labor. So it's best to wait till they start growing. Check them out. They need that summer heat to really bring out the palm. They won't really start growing in the cold. You can see, here we go. You can see, look at all this green. It's a heck of a lot cheaper to take your own pruners and get out here and prune it than to go out and buy a whole new palm. Mediterranean fan palms are very, very drought tolerant once you get them established. Obviously, coming from the Mediterranean where they don't get any rain for the summer, you should be able to take quite a bit of drought. The Mediterranean climate, obviously their main rainy season is in the winter time. There we go. This palm will never get really large, so it's great for a confined area. It's a bushing palm. It'll put out many trunks around the base. So you can trim it to a single trunk and it'll never get any wider than this trunk. This is as big as it's ever going to get around. However, like I said, it'll put out more at the base. So here you can see we've trimmed away all these leaf bases just on this one side to give you an idea of how it should look. And look what we found under here. Here's a palm totally undamaged. And the reason for that is because it's a needle palm. This palm is native to the southeastern United States. It can take 10 below zero and still stay green like this. And this palm is available in the Las Cruces area at several stores. And it's going to get to be about 4 or 5 feet tall. So it'll get about as tall as this Mediterranean here. But at 10 below zero, it's going to look like this. It won't burn a leaf. So there are many different types of palms. We have the Mediterranean, the needle. We talked about the California fan palm and the Mexican fan palm. There's also a Pindo palm, which is real popular around here. There's a Canary Island date palm, and we have a Mexican blue palm. So there are a lot of palms to choose from. Most of them are very cold hardy. This was an exceptional winter where it went 5 below zero or more, but the palms are coming back. Just trim them back and give them some time, and they should come back. The only one that may not come back very well is a Mexican fan palm. Again, because it's from Baja California, cold hardy, about 18 degrees. Very popular around here, but unfortunately not the most cold hardy palm.